I want your calls on this. Is it time to legalise cocaine? 0207 862 2222 is the number. The drive to legalise Class A drugs has been given a boost recently, in part by new Green Party leader Zack Polanski. Here he is explaining why he thinks that it would be a good idea on Jeremy's show recently.
We know people are going to take drugs. So when they're legalised, they also need to be regulated, and that's the key bit here. Now, are they going to be regulated or unregulated as they are right now on the black market by gangs who could be serving anything and could be putting them in the hands of kids? Or are we going to make sure actually that medical health professionals and people who can actually care for people who have problematic relationships with drugs?
Now, even respected current affairs magazine, The Economist, has weighed in backing the legalisation, the consumption and production of cocaine. They say that it would be the most effective single way of reducing death and violence and corruption of the illegal drug trade. They pointed out that consumers could be sure of their dosage and their quantity, although they do note that it might not be a popular policy. Now, the UK is thought to be the largest consumer of cocaine per head in Europe. So could legalisation help here? What do you think, Russ?
No.
Why?
Utter nonsense. You know, it's a banned Class A drug. It ruins lives. All the bad things that we know, I understand.
So does alcohol.
Yeah, it does.
So does cigarettes.
Yeah, but cocaine, I'm afraid, as it stands at the moment, is illegal. And to say, well, it'll stop the gangs and stop crime, there'll be something else if you legalise cocaine. I just cannot see that it can be a good thing.
Even helping with dosage and quantity?
Well, there are some countries, aren't there, that you are allowed, ironically in Peru, to have a very, very small amount on you, and that is okay. But the small amount was probably a big amount before the person was asked if they had any. Oh, yes, it's just a small amount, that's okay. I mean, Zack there, we could take it to the nth degree. Oh, let people steal cars.
That's a ridiculous point.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
Yes, it is.
It's the same thing as he's saying.
Choosing to have a drink or have a cigarette or do a drug harms yourself. Stealing someone else's car is stealing somebody's property.
So you don't think that somebody who takes cocaine is addicted to it and has their behaviour changed is a danger to anybody else?
I think
Come on. You're away with the fairies on this one, Jemma.
I think all drugs, including alcohol, tobacco and drugs, are, of course, highly addictive. And I think we can all agree what you want is people to not overdose, to not die, and to be able to be treated and to see it as a problem that isn't necessarily a criminal one. And absolutely, he's right. The illicit, illegal drug trade has more violence and disgusting goings on than anything. If you take that and actually you get so much revenue by regulating drugs, making sure that they are not going to kill people by cutting them up with absolute rubbish, and then you could have the tax revenue on it, which this country so sorely needs as well, and prevent many, many deaths.
OK, I'm going to put you both on pause. Don't go anywhere. We're taking your calls on this after the break. Is it number? Now, you may be thinking, how widespread is this? Is cocaine use in Britain? Well, the National Crime Agency estimates that in 2023, England, Scotland and Wales consumed 117 tonnes of the drug per year. That's enough to fill a football stadium, according to the Times. Also in 2023, deaths involving cocaine in England and Wales rose for the 12th consecutive year to 1,118. That's according to the ONS. And the Home Office data shows that last year, just over 2% of 16 to 24-year-olds had consumed it within the past 12 months. So that's a large consumption rate, I would say, Jemma.
It is, and I think understandably there'll be many people watching going, never done drugs in their life and are just like, oh, this sounds horrifying. Everybody will start doing drugs. I don't believe that to be true. Clearly, the numbers show if people want to do drugs, they will. By the way, in December 2021, who remembers the Sunday Times reporting that 11 out of 12 toilets that they tested in Westminster, in Parliament, had traces of cocaine on the top. Some near the private bathrooms of Priti Patel and Boris Johnson. It's all in the Sunday Times piece.
But if we legalise it, that would be completely acceptable, Jemma.
Well, yeah, they're all going to do it. But I just think reduce deaths, raise money for the economy, and also then funnel some of that money into helping addiction and reduce police wasting time on non-violent crimes, and just make it safer and treat people like adults.
Can you imagine PMQs in a legalised world of cocaine in Britain? And
would it be any different?
Political
PMQs
commentators
now,
say
by the
a
sounds
nice
of things?
comment there from whoever, the
they
Prime
wouldn't,
Minister,
because-
whoever it may be, quite obviously on cocaine. I mean, don't make me laugh,
But
it's stupid.
nobody's
It's
saying,
stupid.
but nobody's advocating, Russ,
Those
that you make
figures
it
were
legal and
horrendous.
everybody's sitting around doing cocaine. It would probably go down. You take out
Jemma.
some
I
of
suppose the contrary argument would be alcohol is legalised. You don't see everybody
in
worse for
PMQs,
wearing
swigging whiskey.
PMQs.
You don't have
Okay, I just want to go
submarines full
to
of alcohol
the. I want
coming
to
over
go
to Britain.
to the calls. Jennifer from Hampshire, what's your thoughts on this? Legalising cocaine, is it a good idea?
I'm not sure that anybody knows what is a good idea, actually, because it's totally out of control. I do know quite a lot about this because I had a son 7 years ago that was alive until he took the last cocaine injection, which caused a massive brain hemorrhage. He'd been an addict. I'd looked after him as an addict for about 20 years. I spent $100,000 on putting him in and out of rehabs. None of it works. Addiction is an illness. Once it gets in the brain, you've had it.
Yeah.
If they've got the will and the peer, the pressure to say no, that is the main thing that has got to be
But Jennifer,
put in children's heads.
as you're well
really-
aware, not everybody does. So, and you have so much experience in this, and you've been at the hard end of this, which I'm really sorry to hear. But I'd love to hear your view. What do you think will help? What do you think will reduce the numbers of people taking cocaine?
I think that what would help is what I did. I went round to schools and universities and colleges, and I lectured and helped the Hampshire Constabulary. In fact, they gave me an award for it, to help these children and to really drum it into them exactly what happens when these drugs get into your body. I mean, my son had hepatitis C in his liver. He had tumours on his adrenal glands. His arteries furred up to the fact that they couldn't even get an injection for a blood test out of him. Wow. It was horrendous. He knew he was going to die. The addiction took over so badly that the inevitability was that I was going to lose him.
Oh, Jennifer, I can't even imagine what that must have been like as a mother. What do we do to stop that?
Can I say, Jennifer, firstly, I'm so sorry about your son. And this is the thing, your son was really ill, right? Addiction is an illness and it should be treated as a health matter. Your son wasn't a criminal. And that's why I think by, having drugs regulated, making them safer, so if your children do get wrapped up in it, it is at least under some element of control, with more money going towards help for people like Jennifer and her son.
Russ?
I totally agree, and that was, from Jennifer, a heartbreaking story. What I failed to understand is how people who like to take cocaine, and there's many, many, many of those all over the world.
Yeah, a lot of them
not
are
only
in
this
Westminster.
country, but there are addicts. I think rehab, education, and it was great to hear Jennifer say there that she had gone to schools and to universities and worked with the Hampshire police. I failed to see that if you legalise cocaine, how those numbers are going to come down at all. And if you are a person who enjoys cocaine, and you can get it without any inhibition or fear, hang on a minute, any inhibition or fear about how you're going to get it from a dealer, and all that kind of stuff, you're just going to get it more and more. It could make things even worse.
Such a nonsense. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of madness. And this has been under prohibition for all of our time, and the numbers are going up.
Okay.
So it doesn't work.
Both of you do agree that actually more education.
And in Portugal, they've made a change and they've decriminalised it, and deaths have fallen, and there's less HIV. Like, literally, there is evidence to back this up.
What's next?
But I wonder
Heroin,
whether
smack,
you can talk, with all drugs. There should be a really intelligent conversation. It's just old-fashioned fear that won't make you look at actually the hard facts of it.
I want to go back to the calls. Jennifer, thank you very much for sharing your absolutely heartbreaking story and educating us on the effects of cocaine use. Elizabeth from London, what's your thoughts on this? Is legalising cannabis the way to go?
I'm not really sure about legalizing it, but I do know if it was legalized, it would stem the death and the mafia and the the gangs that run it. So on that part, a lot of lives would be saved. So,
but would it reduce?
By the time you get to it, sorry,
would it reduce the number of people taking cocaine, or could that?
Well,
increase?
I think if you want to take it, you'll take it. A lot of my friends do not take it. If you want to take it, you'll take it. If you want to have a drink, you'll drink. If you want to have a cigarette, you'll have a cigarette. I don't think it being legalized will make you want to take it if you don't already do it or want to take it.
So if we're going to legalize cocaine, like Russ says, should we do that with heroin? Should we do it with all Class A drugs? Should we do it with all drugs?
Heroin is different because heroin is physically addictive. Your body actually needs it. Cocaine is mentally addictive. So you couldn't do that. Heroin is physically addictive. Cocaine is not.
Oh, I think it could be physically addictive, but alcohol's physically addictive. I mean, your life is at risk if you come with that in the wrong way.
Tobacco.
So I didn't know tobacco, but there you go. We already have these kind of drugs that are legalized. So why not heroin?
The thing with
because heroin is more physically addictive. It's the fact. It's more physically addictive. So cocaine is not. It's you're mentally addicted to it. You're not physically addicted to cocaine.
I think there's nuance there. I don't understand.
You're not going to. If you don't stop doing cocaine, you're not going to go into that terrible, terrible withdrawal that people on heroin do. Which I think the original junkie is heroin.
Yeah.
Heroin's obviously a frightening drug and really addictive and dangerous.
But you would agree to legalising that?
I would advocate looking at it because people who, I don't know anyone that does heroin, but I have one friend who's totally drug-free, but her brother got into a spiral and he died. And the reason he died was because the dealer that he was getting it from would change it up, cut it rubber, and he took one thing and it was dead. So the other thing about heroin addiction, people who are being treated, they are put onto methadone. It's a drug, but it is given to them by their doctor. So what I'm saying is if you want to reduce deaths, you have to look at if people, as you say, grown adults are going to make these decisions to do bad things to their body, at least control it so that it's not really as dangerous as it already is.
Elizabeth, thank you for your call. Debbie from London, what's your view? Loads of calls from London. Don't know what that says about the city. What's your thought?
Well, I was an addict for about 17 years of cocaine and crack cocaine, and I think it's good to have a conversation, but at the same time I saw that Green Party guy the other day talking about this on Jeremy Vine, and I thought he was quite naive really when he was talking about how to regulate and prescribe heroin. I was thinking, like, who's going to pay for that? A GP is going to be happy to have to decide, like, who to prescribe heroin to. People are going to, people are going to be lying and playing all sorts of games, to get what they want. Also, I think that there'll still be a black market, even if it is legalised, because there'll always be someone producing it cheaper that's been cut, and there'll always be people willing to pay for that. So a bit like cigarettes. Cigarettes are legal at the moment, but there's still a black market for cheap cigarettes, that are really unhealthy.
A couple of months ago, I mean, I'm not a smoker, and it's not a circle that I know very well. Apparently, it's massive. The black market for cheaper cigarettes is absolutely huge. But I don't know whether, in the same way as drugs, cigarettes can be cut with other things and things that could kill you or put in there. So I don't know how dangerous the black market in cigarettes are, other than for our economy. And I don't know whether it would be prescribed or whether you would just be able to buy it at a drug off licence, Debbie. So I don't know whether it would be something that doctors would have to consider. If I get time for one more call, Denise from London, what's your thoughts?
Absolutely not.
Okay, go on, tell me why.
I mean, really, what they should be looking at is that we should look at putting things in place where they are helping the users. I know that prisons are full because when you start using, regardless whether it's cocaine, heroin, crack, whatever it might be, you start to crime.
Yeah.
You get arrested.
Yep.
Prisons are full. They need to deal with people's addiction. I don't want my young son growing up knowing that, if I want to try it, I can just get it for free. I've grown up in an era where say no to drugs. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
There's some callers that have been saying, as an adult, it's your decision to do. But if it's just all free, you could do it if you want to do it. I really don't think so.
Okay,
If your
Denise,
son
thank
wants
you
to do it,
very
he'll
much
do
for
it
your call.
in a nightclub or a festival.
All right, we're going to have to wrap that up there, unfortunately, and I've just been told that actually black market cigarettes are quite dangerous. They're subpar quality cigarettes, so there you go. Don't forget, Vanessa's here later. She's going to be asking whether Princess Beatrice and Eugenie should disown their disgraced father, Prince Andrew. But after the break, should you have to pay to bring birthday cake into a pub, or should you be able to cut it up and dish it out for free? You've already paid for the cake after all, so why not give it to your friends? 0207 862 2222 is the number for your view on that one. We'll see you right after this.